Jai Sitaram. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Bala Ch, chapter number 15. Devatas take refuge with the Lord. In this chapter, sage Rishyashringa conducts the Putreti yagna. At the same time, the Devatas appear in front of Brahma and ask him to figure out a way to end the tyranny of Ravana, the demon king. Brahma says that Ravana has immunity only from man. At that time, Lord Vishnu appears and he promises to take the avatara as a man and kill Ravana in battle. We are going to explore this theme at a greater degree in this chapter. Verse 1. Medhavi tu tato dhyatva sa kinchit idam uttaram labdha sankhya tatah tam tu vedagnyo nripam abravit. Then Rishyashringa, whose mind was capacious enough to receive and retain the numerous shakhas of the Vedas, and who was a thorough master of the mysteries connected therewith, after long and earnest thought, hit upon the most effective method for realizing the king's wishes. With a glad face, he turned to him and said, verse 2, Ishtim te aham karishyami putriyam putrakaranat atharva shirasi prokte mantre siddham vidanatah. Now shall I perform for you an ishti consecrated by the Atharvana mantras that will not fail to get you a son. Verse 3. Tata prakramat idam ishtim tam putriyam putrakaranat juhava agnau cha tejasvi mantra drishtena karmana. To help Dasaratha beget sons, the brilliant Rishyashringa commenced Putreti sacrifice for begetting children by pouring oblations into sacrificial fire and chanting mantras in accordance with traditions. Verse 4. Tato Devas and Gandharavas siddha cha parama rishya bhaga pratigrahartam vai samaveta yatha vidhi. Then the various angelic presences such as the Devatas, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, and the esteemed sages who are now the residents of heaven dutifully assembled in the firmament to receive their part of the oblations. Verse 5. Tah sametya yatha nyayam tasmin sadasi devataha abruvan lokakartaram brahmanam vachanam tata. All devatas who assembled there per tradition addressed Lord Brahma, the creator of the worlds. Verse 6. Bhagavan tvat prasadena ravano nama rakshasah sarvanno badhate viryat shashitum tam na shaknumah. Lord, a Rakshasa, Ravana by name, has won your favor by his wonderful austerities and has been blessed with many mighty boons in consequence, and we have to pay for it. We are unable to punish him. Verse 7. Tvaya tasmai varo datha pritena bhagavan tada manayantah chatam nityam sarvam tasya kshamamahe. Bound by our respect for the giver of these boons, we have to put up without a murmur with his unheard of cruelties. Verse 8. Udve jayati lokan trin uchrita dveshti durmati shakram tridasha rajanam pradarshaityum ichchati. The three worlds tremble at his name. He will in no time drive away from their thrones Indra and the other regions of the spheres and occupy them himself. So we should know that there are 8 primary directions, and Indra takes care of the east, Agni takes care of the southeast, Yama takes care of south, Nairiti or the demon god takes care of southwest, Varuna takes care of west, Vayu takes care of northwest, Kubera takes care of north, and Ishana takes care of northeast. And the governance of all these deities is Indra's function because he is the presiding deity of Svarga. But all of them act under the directions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Verse 9. Rishin yakshan sa gandharvan asuran brahmanan tatha atikramati durdarsho varadanena mohitaha. Conceited in the strength of his boons, he bids defiance to everyone, sages and brahmanas, yakshas and gandharvas, devas and asuras, and grinds them low. Verse 10. Nainam surya pratapati parshve vatina marutaha chalor mimali tam drishtva samudro apina kampate. The sun draws in his heat when he shines on the demon and adjusts his warmth to his taste. The wind god is afraid to blow hard through his gardens, lest the flowers therein should fall off the trees and creepers and anger Ravana when he is disporting himself there. The roaring ocean with his mutinous waves stands tongue-tied with fear at his approach. Verse 11. Tan mahanno bhayam tasmat rakshasat ghora darshanat vadhartam tasya bhagavan upayam kartum arhasi. His fierce looks strike dire terror into our hearts, and we drag on lives of misery and fear. Seek thou some means to relieve us from this living terror. So this is how the Devatas approach Brahma and ask him for some method in which Ravana can be killed and his tyranny will end. And it's very interesting that they give 3 different examples. The sun will not parch Ravana, the air cannot puff at his sides, and the ocean will not move when it sees Ravana. Now, in Sundarakand, we get to see that a devotee of Lord Rama, who is the son of air, who is the disciple of Surya, crossed that very ocean and wreaked havoc in the city of Lanka, in the city of Ravana. This means that the most powerful emotion in this world is that of bhakti. Because once a bhakta of Lord Rama wants to do something in service for the Lord, even the devatas who are afraid of this particular Ravana will aid him in that particular service. A side note that we should understand over here is that for the past couple of verses, Brahma has been addressed as Bhagavan or the Supreme Lord. And we need to understand that Bhagavan means the possessor of bhaga or opulences. And usually Bhagavan is mentioned only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Lord Rama or Lord Krishna. However, some devotees, such as Lord Brahma, can have Bhagavan-like qualities. Bharadwaj is also mentioned as Bhagavan, Valmiki is mentioned as Bhagavan in certain times, and Brahma is mentioned as Bhagavan. So they are not the supreme ones, but because they are great bhaktas, They have a lot of opulences, and they have a lot of qualities that are very similar to Bhagavan. And therefore, the Bhagavan over here is not the Supreme Lord, but it is God-like. And that is what we need to understand. This topic has already been covered in great detail in the second chapter of Bala Ch, but it just bears repeating right now. Verse 12. एवं उक्तः सुरैः सर्वैर् चिन्तयित्वा ततो अब्रवीत् हन्ता अयं विदितः तस्य वधोपायो दुरात्मनः. After listening to the words of the Devatas and reflecting over the matter, Brahma said, O Devatas, the means of destruction of that wicked Rakshasa has struck my mind. Verse 13. Tena Gandharva Yakshanam Devatanam cha Rakshasam avadhyo asmi iti vag ukta tatheti uktam cha tanmaya. The wicked wretch prayed of me immortality from the Devas, the Gandharvas and the Rakshasas, and that I granted him. Verse 14. Na akirtayat avajnanat tat raksho manusham tada tasmat manushat vadhyo mrityu na anya asya vidyate. But fortunately for you, he has omitted to ask it from men as being too far beneath his fear and notice. There is his weak point, and he should be made to meet his death at the hands of man. Verse 15. Etat shrutva priyam vakyam brahmana samudahratam deva maharishya sarve prakhrishte te abhavantada. The hearts of the sages and the gods danced for very joy at this glad news, and they rejoiced as if the hour of their deliverance was already at hand. Now, there are two very important things that we should know at this juncture. The tapasya of Ravana, Kumbhakarna and Vibhishana is mentioned in great detail in Uttarakhand. And over there, Ravana omits men because he eats men. He's a cannibal. So he eats men, and so he's not worried about facing death at the hands of man. And after receiving this boon from Brahma, he goes about subjugating the Devatas, the Dikpalas, then various Kshatriya kings on earth, and he is mostly victorious. There are times when the Devatas were almost about to kill him, but then Brahma comes over and stops them because his word should not be falsified. For example, this is prevalent during the battle against Yama. And Brahma himself intervenes and prevents Yama from releasing the Yama Pash on Ravana. There were great Kshatriya kings such as Anaranya, who was ready to battle Ravana, but Anaranya met his death at the hands of Ravana. Then Kartavir Arjun was capable of subjugating even Ravana, but sage Pulastya asked Kartavir Arjun, otherwise known as Sahasrabahu, to release Ravana, and so he does. So we should know that even though there were Kshatriya kings who were capable of facing Ravana in battle, who were capable of defeating Ravana, such as Sahasrabahu, nothing came to a conclusion because the time for the death of Ravana was not yet nigh. We also see in Uttarakhand that Vali was capable of subjugating Ravana as well. But then later on, Ravana and Vali become friends. So the task of killing Ravana cannot fall onto an ordinary living entity. even though there were people who were capable of destroying Ravana, the task of killing him is not as simple as that. Because he spent 10,000 years propitiating Brahma and received wonderful boons from him. He also received great boons from Lord Shankara, and he is not an ordinary person. This is why in the next verse we see that Lord Vishnu himself appears, and he promises the Devatas that he will take the form of a man and destroy Ravana. Now, another question that remains in people's minds is that Vanaras are not mentioned over here. But we need to understand that Vanaras are mostly humanoids. They are men who live in the forests. And monkeys and bears, the rikshas, can stand on 2 feet like human beings. So they were all considered kind of under the same category, and Ravana thought all of them to be very inferior. And thus he does not include any of them in that boon. We will look at the arrival of Lord Vishnu in the next section. Jai Sitaram.